In 1901, photos became more accessible to the general public by way of the Real Photo Postcard, or RPPC. Cardstock became more affordable and photos easily produced on penny postcards. This was the medium on which Kingsbury would capitalize with his work. Many of his photos were printed in this manner and in turn were sent all over the country by thousands of people. The images they depicted intrigued and enticed people into traveling to Wisconsin's North Country to experience its rustic charm and the innate beauty that AJ so artfully captured. Postcards were an inexpensive means of communication for the masses, and Arthur found his niche as the Northwoods' golden age of resorts and tourism was expanding. A great business for the Anago photographer. Arthur traveled extensively throughout northern Wisconsin and Michigan's Upper Peninsula. With his camera equipment roped to his trusty Ford, he traversed primitive roads and trails deep into the woods to photograph all manner of life in the Northwoods, on its lakes and rivers, and in its communities. Kingsbury had a penchant for photographing Wisconsin's native peoples, especially the Menominee and the Ojibwe. Life for them was changing rapidly as they were often forced to reconcile the ways of their past with the ever-changing landscape they had known for hundreds of years. His photos of Native Americans are some of the best of the time, showing the beauty of their culture and have become an important look into the past, poignantly reminding us of the first peoples of northern Wisconsin that still live here today. In 1952, Arthur Kingsbury sold his business to a Mr. H.A. Ellers, who would continue to run a photography studio. A few years later, Arthur would die in 1956 while visiting his son in Oklahoma. In 1967, a tragic fire would bring an end to the Kingsbury studio building, destroying glass photography plates containing Arthur's work. Thankfully, some of the plates were spared and were donated to the Langlade County Historical Society, where they are still preserved today. A small green space, Kingsbury Park, now holds the place of the respected photographer's studio. We were lucky to visit with historian Joe Hermelin during our visit to Anago, where he showed us some of Kingsbury's work cataloged at the museum there. Of the thousands of pictures taken by Mr. Kingsbury, about 600 are known, many archived at the museum. Some are found in postcard collections around the country. Perhaps a few may still be hidden, waiting to be discovered. Joe has spent much time researching and documenting the life of A.J. Kingsbury for future generations to learn from, and I'm thankful he was willing to share his knowledge with me for this segment. Arthur Kingsbury's photos open up a window into an amazing time period in history, documenting the rapidly changing face of northern Wisconsin. His willingness to leave home for days at a time, venturing into the Northwoods frontier to photograph its towns, people, and cultures, truly is a treasure trove in modern times, as we can learn so much from his pictures. As much has changed from the era of A.J. Kingsbury's work, many things remain. The beauty of the natural world around us, northern Wisconsin's lakes, rivers, wetlands, and forests, Mr. Kingsbury's photographs connect us to the past and remind us of all the things we love and cherish about the great Northwoods of Wisconsin. I'm Gary Bladorn, and this is Connecting the Dots, Reliving Northwoods History on Newswatch 12.
Connecting the Dots, Reliving Northwoods History with Gary Bladorn.
Thank you for watching Connecting the Dots on WJFW. If you have any Northwoods history you'd like to see covered on this program, feel free to send me a message on my Facebook page, Gary Bladorn, Northwoods Historian, or email me at northwoodshistorian@gmail.com.